Um, Here we are with Jitka. Jitka is building out an awesome platform, Portable Tenant. So Jitka, you've already seen obviously some of the questions that we're going to talk about. We're not going to go through all of them. I sent you like too many questions to cover in an hour, but it's just basically going to be us learning about obviously what you're building with Portable Tenant. I think it's a great product. It's a great story, and I think we got a long ways to go to really change some things. Um, so yeah, exactly. What I want to talk about first is just for people who obviously don't know what we're building and haven't been following Portable Tenant, a little bit about you, like your background, what, when did you see this was a problem? Why did you switch from, your job to pursue this um, fully? So just let's start with that.
Okay, yeah, very good. So obviously I have an accent. So I came from the Czech Republic, and that was about 25 years ago, but this is home. So I live in Colorado permanently. So when I went to school, I went to CU Boulder to study business systems. And I was kind of always obsessed about making things more efficient and more better, effective, easier on people. I knew that because I was waiting tables in college as a student, and I just developed my own system that actually made more sense, made my life easier as a waiter. So that's why I pursued systems. And in college, I met actually was my instructor who was starting a leasing system business. And that's how I got into this field in leasing systems. So we started a company. He started a company together, or he started a company, and I joined, and I was there for 15 years. And that's what brought me to Portable Tenant, because there was this one phone call I remember, and that was the ground for Portable Tenant.
Mm.
The law here in Colorado changed in August 2023, and I got a call from Housing Helpers, which is a pretty prominent property management company here in Boulder, Colorado, and they had an issue with the law. They couldn't solve what the law is asking them to do, or was asking them to do. What it said, basically, if you decline an applicant and the applicant's or the decision was not made based on Portable Tenant screening report, you had to refund money. So these you had to refund money for application fees. So if the applicant paid, let's say, $55 for application fee, that was used to pull the reports. Now the landlord said, well, I can't accept you. Then the landlord has to come back to his own pocket and give the money back to the applicant. So this was obviously a serious cash flow issue, serious. Yeah, so they were refunding, they said, 8 applications a day, which is about $400. So I'm like, well, there needs to be a solution to this. So what is this Portable Tenant screening report, and how can we make it portable? Because yeah, I wanted them as a customer.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I kept thinking there must be a solution, but I kept thinking, how can we help the landlord? How can we help the landlord? The solution never came that way. So one day I was skiing. It was right after New Year's in 2024. And I thought, well, the solution is the renter needs to own the data, the report. And that's like, I couldn't stop thinking about it, but how can we make it now renter owned versus landlord owned? And then from there, it was just, yeah, it needs to be built from ground up all over.
Mm.
And that's kind of the story, how I figured out what the solution is, and the fact that it needs to be a new company, a new system, new way of marketing it. Everything is different because the customer is now the renter and not the landlord.
Yeah. And so from the renter's perspective, obviously, the law changing, you saw it from, the landlord. The renter's perspective, what was the system beforehand? Like, how was this changed? How does the portable tenant screening report make things easier for them? Or, what was it before and now with portable tenant, what's the shift?
Right. So before portable tenant, the landlord had to take care of all the screening. So the landlord would pick a provider, the tenant screening provider. They would send an invite from the platform of the tenant screening provider to the tenant. The tenant fills out the application. The landlord receives it, reviews it, but it stops there. And that was the problem. Building a subsequent share is really difficult to that tenant screening provider. So a lot of them didn't build it. And honestly, it was before, because there is a different license from the credit bureau, single share versus multi-share. Multi-share is more expensive. The tenant screening providers were serving landlords, not renters. They did not want a higher cost, so that's why they didn't build it.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. I know a lot of people don't know this, but there is a multi-share versus single share for the credit report.
Okay.
So obviously different pricing.
Besides cost, why do you think that it hadn't been built, or at least hadn't been explored a lot up until this point?
Right. It was always the landlord's duty to screen the tenants. It wasn't the renter's duty to screen themselves. So it was always assumed it needs to be the landlord's tool. But that's where it stops with the landlord. The landlord gets an answer, then the applicant gets declined, and then the applicant needs to go and fill out a different landlord application, which is repetitive, costs money. It's the same data. So that's why I think the legislators flipped it and they just put it out there. But for 2 years, no one built this solution. So there was this mess on the marketplace because renters were looking for portable tenant screening report, couldn't find it. You could see the threads on Reddit, like, where can I find this? And so that's why it had to be built from ground up. It needed to be a total different new system, new solution that kind of follows the law, and it makes everyone compliant.
Yeah. And I like the way that you had thought about this, because you obviously understood the industry, but then you looked at market pull. Like, you didn't say, oh, I want to build this product and invest all this money. Who's going to buy it? You looked at Reddit forums and you saw people asking for something that didn't exist. And you looked at, search, and, obviously we're doing some work with Google. And you saw that there was a need for that, right? And that you saw what the keyword prices were. So that was a really successful way to do it, because you didn't invest your money and then running
Yeah,
around saying, "Hey, do you want to buy it?" Right? So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Um, what scared you about starting it, if anything? I mean, maybe you went in fearlessly, but um,
Right. The statistics, like what is the percent of businesses fail?
sure.
So also investing my own time, investing my own money, before even knowing the concept will work. It was a brand new concept. There was nothing like that when we started building it. Now there are solutions. Um, so yeah, I did not know there. It was kind of like a sexy business that did not have a concept or any kind of data behind it. So I had to create a data, um,
Yeah,
in order to know. So it was a big loop, a big investment into just knowing if this will work. And I think it will. I know this will work now because we're growing every month over month, and it's great to see. I know it's also seasonal,
mhm,
but at the same time, there is demand, and only more states will be adopting the same same laws, and the technology now is there.
yeah, and that's great too. There's this concept where, even if it's good to be in a market that's growing, right? And if it's growing for, technology advancing and for legislative reasons, right? That's just because even if you stay the same, you still grow just because the market and opportunities is kind of, being thrown at you. That's why you want to be in something like this as opposed to, say, traditional education, which is shrinking if you wanted to go into that industry.
Mm.
Um, and so that's a very valid fear, right? Like you're going to invest your time, you're going to invest your money into something, and it isn't a guarantee, obviously. I mean, nothing is really a guarantee. Even if you work a job, they could fire you one day, and things happen, layoffs happen. AI is coming for a lot of white collar jobs. So
Absolutely. And that was the biggest decision. AI is going to take my job, whatever, regardless. So why don't I just do what I want to do and use AI? You create it with AI.
yeah,
So have AI work for me, not me being the victim of it. So that was one of the biggest factors, deciding factors. Should I start my own, or should I just go and get a job and a risk to be laid off eventually again? So,
yeah.
but you know where I got it wrong?
Where?
I thought the property manager would be the one all over it because it would save them money. And then I realized they are actually not following the law. They don't care.
Yeah,
So I thought there will be so many of them, just like housing helpers, just actually doing their own legal research and following the law, trying to comply. But no, it's the renter that benefits more.
yeah.
Um,
They
and
don't care yet.
yes,
We're gonna get them there.
yeah. So property managers, maybe they don't even know this is part of the law. So if they're screening multiple applicants at the same time, they have to refund these fees if they're declining
Yeah.
applicants. So that I think they're just sweeping it under the rug, hoping the applicant doesn't know this.
Hmm. Well, there's different levels of awareness too. We were talking about this the other day, right? Um, they might not know that this could be done. They might not, right? There's a whole host of things, and I think obviously as we grow, it's the word's going to get out, and we'll have more authority. And then maybe that's what property managers are looking for, a little bit more of an established business, which we're going to get there, and obviously different approaches, different plans. So I see them as, a bigger fish, and eventually we can catch it. It just we got to get there. But I mean, it's still good that we have the market pull, right? Like, renters are signing on, and it's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very seamless once the landlord actually accepts this. It benefits them too. Even in terms of time, like you don't have to go and send out an application to somebody. It just comes to you,
Yeah,
and you just log in and see it. You can even request it before a showing, which is ideal because you're not wasting time with someone who can't qualify. So it can be used for property managers just to streamline a lot of things, a lot of processes. But yeah, the time will tell, and we're early. The early adapters will benefit, of course,
mm,
and we're still learning too from the marketplace.
of course. The marketplace tells everything for sure.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
totally.
yeah,
And
you
they're
just got to
always right.
listen. Exactly. They are always right. Even if you think, no, they should be buying this, right?
Yeah.
Property managers should be like lining out the door. But if they're not, then we got to change something. Either it's the product, it's the way we advertise, it's
And we have
timing.
evolved too since
Yes.
4 or 5 months ago when we launched. We have made this so much easier on the property manager. So I hope they like it.
Mhm.
I hope they enjoy what they see. There's a lot of information. There's still a lot on my wish list I could add just to serve the property manager better. But it's yeah, give us time.
Absolutely. And there will be property managers who are going to listen to this because this is going to be pushed out on Spotify, YouTube. So if any property managers want to get in touch with Jitka and learn a little bit more, and obviously the Portable Tenant site has a lot of information, contact information will be in the bio. So, we're happy
Sure.
to hear more. And if there's anything, and if you, don't understand the product, if there's any special feature requests, Jitka is super organized and a wonderful lady to speak to. So, um, that's always going to be a great connection. Um, okay. One thing I also wanted to mention too, so this is a credit to yourself in the way that you were able to archetype, um, architect Portable Tenant. Normally, when we're working with clients, they have like a vague idea, right? They say, oh, I
Yeah.
want to build out a social media that allows me to see events on a map near me. Like these are the types of requirements that I usually get, like a couple sentences, and then they go to ChatGPT, and then they give me because I asked them for a professional requirements doc, which nobody wants to write all of these pages, so they get ChatGPT to write me all of these requirements. They didn't usually read over all of them, so 25% is basically AI hallucination, which actually doesn't make sense to build. So they almost don't know what they want. And it's, my responsibility and the team's responsibility to, do all of the wireframing and the UI, UX decisions and do all of that. But in this engagement, that wasn't the case. You actually came to us and said, like, this is what I want on every screen. This is, what the product is. This is how it worked. And you had archetyped that beforehand. And it's something that we don't typically see, but so the team was a little bit like, oh, like this is very, very particular. But I liked it because I thought, okay, well, I know that she knows what she wants, and it's not just going to be hand wavy. So I had a really good feeling about this when we were building it. And I'm glad to see that we're growing. And to be honest, it actually didn't surprise me based on how much research you did beforehand. So speak to that a little bit. Is that your personality? Is that the business processes degree that you took? Like, I'd love to hear more.
Interesting. Yeah, good. Yeah, I know I was a pain during the development process.
You were not. You were not.
Yeah, no, I really knew what I wanted to build because it was brewing in my head for over a year.
Yeah.
Um, and it was all over my whiteboard here. So it actually came from 15 years speaking to applicants and landlords, because that's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
And when this law passed to accept portable tenant screening reports, I knew exactly. Once it came to me that day skiing, once it came to me, I knew exactly what to build. And there is still, I still see a way to improve, but we have a very good first draft and
Yeah.
our first, I
First
would say,
version.
yes, first version. Yes, you got it. It's working
Absolutely.
really well. I think we are like 90% there. Yes, so it is a little bit of my experience building this for a living before.
Mhm.
Not exactly this, but similar. I knew what the landlords want. I knew what the applicants' hurdles typically are. So that was actually easier. We don't have to refine as much because it was refined for the last 15 years, even though
Yeah.
it was built a couple months ago.
Yeah. And two things to that. One, a lesson for everybody, go skiing because great ideas come to you when you're skiing.
Yeah, it's always outside, always on a hike,
Yeah,
always skiing, working out. That's when I need the laptop right there. It never's there. So I need to
exactly.
make memos in my head. Uh, when the brain oxygenates, it just works better. And at least
Absolutely.
for me, I,
Yeah,
I
no,
can come up
it's
with
true.
ideas here.
Yeah. And I think that is honestly a lesson for the viewers who are watching is, you do need to do these things, right? You can't just, lock yourself in your room and then just work all day and assume that ideas are going to flow to you. It's you living your life. It's you going skiing. It's you hiking, being with your family, and just having a problem that you obsess about. Like you said, like you were thinking about this, whether you liked it or not. And so it just, as a result of you enjoying your life, the ideas are coming in and you're just thinking about, like you're visualizing and projecting it. So you just, don't ignore those thoughts if you have them. If you keep thinking about a problem um, that you understand, and obviously you did, that is exactly what I tell people when we're doing discovery calls with new clients. Because some clients will come to us and say, I want to build out an app for, um, kids in school because I think that, the school system sucks. And I'd say, like, do you have a kid in school? Like, have you taken any courses in the last 25 years? Like, this
Yeah,
isn't an archetype that you understand. And so you're either going to build the wrong thing or it's going to get hard and you're going to stop caring, right? Because like it doesn't really affect you. You're not up at night thinking about it. So that's very important to be obsessed with the problem because then the solution just comes to you. Like it just
yeah.
happens, right?
Yes. And honestly, you need to just start doing it and start working on it. Otherwise, it always will just be an idea.
Yeah. And you might as well, because we only get one life, not to be all philosophical, but you might as well try. And even if it doesn't work, you're gonna learn a ton about yourself. You're gonna develop your skills, right? As part of running a business, all of a sudden you're gonna be learning about, what UI looks good, how does the user interface work, how does marketing work, how does all of these skills you're gonna like rapidly develop. And then even if you spend your investment, you spend, both time and money, you come out at the end and you think, like, I'm a much better employee as well, even if you did want to go back to the workforce. So um, it really is
Yeah.
a win-win if you pursue it.
And I would say everything is about refining. It's not
Mhm.
going to be you build an app, it's going to be perfect. You could build an app and you have a base, and then
Mhm.
you just need to refine this and that. Um, and you will always be refining.
Yes. The top tech companies of the world are always releasing new products, changing their interfaces, and they have hundreds of billions of dollars and the brightest people working for them. So the odds that you're going to release a product and then it just like becomes a $1 trillion company is zero, right? Like you need to
Yes.
constantly refine. obviously. So, and I think that lowers the barrier for people because there's a lot of people who are listening, and that I've been speaking to for over a year who want to build a product, but they don't want to, take the leap. And it's because they feel like they have to do it perfectly right when they launch. Like everything needs to be there. Like I want to just launch and then everybody loves me and, like, holds me up and down. Like, oh, Cristiano, he's amazing. Um, so
I still
yeah,
think
that's
that.
not the case. Pardon me?
I think that.
That's very sweet. We're still getting better. Um, yeah, so that's something for everybody. I think your story is great and something for people to see that if you really understand the problem, you obsess about it, invest your time, you take a leap into it, you win either way. So I think that's great.
The learning and refining never stops. So
Yeah.
founders need to be aware of that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Talking about some of the next steps for Portable Tenant, two things, obviously scaling, which we can discuss a little bit, but also in terms of some of the partnerships, we might not want to disclose all of them on the call, but just in general, Portable Tenant has been attracting some startups, some interest from other vendors who would like to integrate with Portable Tenant. Do you want to speak about that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. And the fact that it's actually built for the renter and the renter is the customer in multiple like listing products, Portable Tenant is positioned really well just to partner with listing portals, finding housing providers, even MLSs, anything like that. So we do accept partnerships and we do pay commission to partners that basically provide our services on their site. Portable Tenant needs to be a tool that actually is a new way of doing tenant screening. And this is how the feature or the future will go. I'm excited what's to come. So yeah, if you need a tenant screening tool, let me know because we can serve you really well and we can still do all the compliance and you're just basically offering the service. A lot of listing portals when they start, they don't want to do tenant screening because they're scared of the compliance and the compliance is scary.
Went through a lot.
Yes, you learned a
Yeah.
lot as well. It needs to be word from word on that page and this page and this email and that checkbox. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The policies we have to develop for all different scenarios. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we went through that audit and we went through all those hurdles for you. So if you do own, one of these products and you would like to integrate, it makes it way easier on you. You don't have to worry about all of that, all of those hurdles because we've already been through them.
Yes, so we do have some nice partners in midterm and long-term rentals already. So we're developing for them as well. We're customizing it. So it should, we're positioned really well just to be a partner for tenant screening.
Yeah. And the other thing that is great, just comparing Portable Tenant to, a lot of the other products that I built and just in general, the conversion process through onboarding. Portable Tenant, there's a lot of steps, right? Just the nature of the product. But the conversion rate is a lot higher than you would think, just in terms of general comparing it to other products in the marketplace. We could still improve it, of course, but that's something for if you do own one of these listing aggregate sites, you might worry, okay, like if we use Portable Tenant, like is there going to be any issues in the onboarding process? Are they not going to complete it? Because obviously you wouldn't want to lose um, a customer on your site. It's a very, very good process, very seamless. So that I love to see that as well. And we're getting better. We're investing money
Yeah,
into it.
and 15 years in making, it should be better.
Well,
Yeah, so I understand when someone sees 50% conversion rate, that's great. But yes, I'm shooting for 80.
yeah, we're gonna get there. Awesome. Um, in terms of the vision, in terms of scaling, in terms of where Portable Tenant could go in, say, the next couple of years, how do we see it changing from today?
Yes, so the base is the same,
Mhm.
but we can expand on that. So the renter, he or she, they just create their profile with their report valid for 30 days or whichever the state mandates. We can make that work for each state differently.
Mhm.
So that base stays the same. When the tenant shares with the landlord, we can improve it.
Mhm.
We can integrate this into property management tools, so it lives natively into property management tools like Yardi or other. And then it will be so much easier just to accept that portable tenant screening report that actually comes to your tool, or at least the data. We are a little limited with the FCRA Act, but the data that is leased for used for the lease is it can be transferred.
Mhm.
So that's where I see that it actually could start taking off really well with these integrations.
Absolutely. Awesome. And this is an interesting one. What would the perfect Portable Tenant testimonial look like from both the renter side and the landlord side?
I would say finally is
Yeah.
the testimonial. Um, yeah, I know what's been on renters' mind. They always wish this was a reusable. It's just like when you apply for college, right?
Mhm.
It used to be that you had to apply to each college and write each essay for each college. Now that you just create one application and apply to multiple colleges. Um, Same with applying for a job. You basically write one resume and you tweak it a little bit for this job and that job, but the base is the same. It's not like you're writing the whole history over and over again. So
Yeah.
why not for rentals when you're applying for apartments? And it's not so much of a benefit for a renter that has a perfect credit, perfect income, um, savings, no problem. No problem. They just get that apartment, whichever they want. It can still fall through because of timing.
Mhm.
So that renter can use portable tenant screening report, but that renter has it so much easier than the renter who's, you know what, my mom got a cancer and I had to sell my house to afford her medical bills. I had those renters and I truly felt sorry for them. And now I took loans, my credit is ruined. I had to quit my job to take care of her. I had that story.
Yeah,
And it's tough.
of course.
So those are the renters we serve really well.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And I think that that's what motivates you as well. Like being able to help that person when you've seen that person, you've seen the struggles that they've been through, and you know that it's not always like, self-inflicted, right? Things happen, right? Like life happens. And so the fact that you're able to be the one to make a difference in those people's lives while also improving your own, it really is amazing, right? And it's maybe not something you know, intentionally thought of right away. You were thinking to solve a problem, but at the end of the day, you also positively impact these people's lives, which is
Yeah,
amazing. Helps to motivate you, right? The tough times.
absolutely. So I am in these housing groups, right? And I see people's stories all the time. A lot of them are looking for private landlord so they can actually make a deal with them, because property management companies, they have a strict criteria. You have 600 credit score, that's not enough. Sorry, you
Yeah.
can't rent here. But private landlord understands, okay, you have a 600 credit score. It's because you have only one credit card and you had 3 late payments.
Yeah.
So there are differences in even like the credit report. As long as you have a stable job, stable career, stable income, you don't have 3 pit bulls, you should be okay.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Well, Yika, I think we got through a lot. This has been a great call. I mean, it's amazing to hear also some of these stuff I didn't know about, your story and the way
Yeah.
you think and where
Yeah,
Portable
why didn't
Tenant.
you ever ask me?
I know. I should have learned more about it, but I'm glad that eventually we did this and eventually it got out and I'm able to also not only learn myself, but just project it to other people because um, it really is something that, first of all, a product people need, but also just hearing your story. Um, I think it'll really help a lot of people because, you might not know it because I see these people who, if they have an idea, they want to do it. You might have sat on yours for a little bit of time, but some people sit on their ideas for 10 years, for 15 years. So then some of them never do it. So I want to show people that, when you do take this leap, it is obviously nerve-wracking. Nobody goes into it with 100% confidence, but um, it really is something that, in the worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, if you make your app and you invest, you still learn a heck of a lot and it does change you. And in the better scenario, you have a successful product that you can grow, you can impact people's lives. And that's really, that's the goal.
You know, the decision was not made until I talked to you.
Hmm.
It was still 50-50.
Yeah.
But you just gave me so much confidence, and you also gave me a reasonable starting point when it comes to the investment as well.
Hmm.
It was very reasonable. And so I thought, yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a no-brainer at this point because I'm risking more just going and looking for a job for 3 months
Yeah.
than just starting building, you know?
Thank you, Yika. That's awesome to hear. And that
Yeah.
is my goal. I do want to make it so that at the beginning, I can, lower the barrier as much as I can because I really see it as a long-term partnership. Even if we do an app, I work with somebody and we do an app and the app doesn't work out. In the future, there might be another app or some clients as well. They see all the work that we're doing with them for tech and they say, actually, can you do marketing for my other business? And then a lot of that happens. So it really is something that the relationship is just the most important thing for me and just keeping things. I understand that, it's a big upfront investment. So I want to do everything I can to make that easier and make sure the team absolutely knocks it out of the park because that's my goal. To be able to have these conversations and hear that Portable Tenant is growing month over month, like for me, that is awesome. That is the best thing. Like I want to see this absolutely kill it. And I know that it will. So that's
Yes,
important
yeah.
to me.
It that's what just kind of calms me down as well, because I'm a person that is always on her toes.
Yeah.
Uh, so I cannot imagine it any other way. It had to be growing. Otherwise, I'd be a mess.
Awesome. So, yeah, this was a great talk. Is there anything else? So we're going to do our outro. Anything else that you want listeners to know? Renters, property managers, potential partners?
I want property managers to know that they can always contact me if there is something that they're missing in the product we provide to them. As long as it's legal, we'll add it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about pay stub, not uploads, but connecting to payroll systems and actually pulling real pay stubs from the payroll systems. But not everyone gets a payroll. I don't really get a payroll. So then there's the upload still will exist for those who need to take a screenshot of their business bank accounts or whatever. But yeah, the income verification is coming, I think, within the next year.
Awesome. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
This was an awesome talk for everybody listening. So this was another episode of the Veritech Founder Series. We've had some great conversations. We're going to have some more. I want to keep doing this because these are awesome. So thank you so much for your time, Jitka, and we're going to keep growing Portable Tenant.
Yeah, thank you for more years to come.
Let's do it.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.